and good Sunday morning, everyone. I'm Paula Faris from ABC World Headquarters here in New York, and this is an ABC News digital report. Developing right now, every pew at the Emanuel AME Church is full as that congregation comes together inside the building for the first time since 9 people were shot and killed 4 days ago. You can see people singing and dancing inside that congregation. There is a heavy police presence inside. Officers lining the walls of that church, checking each parishioner's bag. But this church and community, they are making a very powerful statement this morning. Charleston is united. Also this morning, we're also learning more about the 21-year-old suspect, Dylan Roof. Investigators are right now trying to authenticate, but the site contains a trove of pictures of Roof, often posing with his gun. It also contains a deeply racist manifesto. And ABC's Steve Osunsami is at that church for us this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Paula, in some of those photos, the 21-year-old accused gunman is seen posing at Confederate monuments and burning the American flag. Police today are telling us it appears he is still cooperating with their investigation. This morning, haunting words and pictures from what authorities think might be a manifesto posted online from the 21-year-old accused of murdering a Bible study group at this historic black church, pointing a gun at the camera, posing with a gun in one hand and the stars and bars in the other. Yes, sir. Dylan Roof is being held on a $1 million bond this morning, and police say he's confessing. The rant online was filled with hate for people who are black, Hispanic, and Jewish, saying that I chose Charleston because it is the most historic city in my state, and at one time had the highest ratio of blacks to whites in the country. We have no skinheads, no real KKK. Well, someone has to have the bravery to take it to the real world, and I guess that has to be me. Today, vigils and services across the city will celebrate the lives of the 9 people Roof is accused of murdering, and bells are ringing in their names. And overnight, Kevin Singleton took our cameras to the memorial for the first time after losing his mother, Myra Thompson, saying it's unbelievable to be back at his childhood church under these circumstances.
It's rough, you know. It's unexplainable, you know, when you lose a parent.
We're meeting families here who've come from across the country.
Good people are pained by this kind of horror. It's just wrong.
There'll be total healing here in Charleston. And that we'll be a light to the nation. That God can take any tragedy and turn it around into His goodness and His love. Yeah. That's my prayer.
And we're meeting people like Mildred Carr and Della Jordan, friends and family of the victims here, who say they're still scared.
Are there more coming? Is this going to start a civil racial war? What is this all about?
There are vigils and services across this city today, and the first of several funerals is now scheduled for the pastor of this church who was killed first. That funeral scheduled for the end of this week. Paula.
Definitely so many powerful emotions, Steve. Thank you. And now to fast-moving developments in the manhunt for those dangerous escaped killers. There are hot leads and several possible sightings of the 2 men who have been on the run for over 2 weeks. Authorities believe they are closing in on the murderers, and ABC's Lindsay Janis has the very latest for us from Dannemora, New York. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Paula. An extremely busy night of searching in southwestern New York. Those sightings have police concentrating their efforts on the town of Friendship. It's about a 6.5-hour drive from the prison here, and the escapees may have reached there by freight train. Overnight, a search frenzy sparked by multiple reported sightings of escaped convicts Richard Matt and David Sweat in western New York. State police, local sheriffs, and U.S. Marshals descending on the town of Friendship with helicopters, roadblocks, and canines as searchers scour Interstate 86.
He's traveling east off of I-86 by the tracks, has a confirmed track of 2 individuals, needs assistance at that location.
Officers reportedly zeroing in on the suspects, the dragnet moving nearly 400 miles this week when the fugitives were spotted in Irwin and Lindley, New York. While it's unclear how the escapees may have traveled that far, all the recent sightings have been near train yards. And this rail map revealing many of the reported sightings have all been along this freight line, which runs through David Sweat's hometown, just 176 miles from the new search area.
I have a caller on the phone stated 2 male individuals just approached him outside his home, both wearing dull-colored outfits, blue jeans, flannel-type hoodies.
police calling the possible sightings credible and warning residents in the area not to approach the suspects. But many are arming themselves just in case.
You're kind of preparing because being in the country, you always think that, we always should be ready for anything like this.
Meanwhile, a second prison worker now linked to the investigation, questioned by police and FBI for nearly 14 hours overnight.
Jean Palmer, Lindsay Janice from ABC News. Were you the escapees' guard at the prison?
No comment at this time.
Did you have anything to do with their escape?
No comment at this time, but I'm here on my own free will to help and assist.
Corrections officer Jean Palmer put on paid leave. He and his lawyer speaking exclusively with ABC News. Palmer has not been charged or formally accused of any wrongdoing.
My client understands the importance of finding these two individuals.
And Paula, we've also learned that Jean Palmer is a guard on the prison's so-called honor block. That's where Matt and Sweat's cells were based and where they were given special privileges, reportedly able to cook, visit each other, even given access to non-prison clothing. Paula?
All right, Lindsay, thank you. And for the very latest on that manhunt, make sure you stay tuned and stay logged on to abcnews.com. Also, right now, we are live streaming the service that is underway at Emanuel AME Church in Charleston. And of course, Tom Yamas will have a complete wrap-up later on World News Tonight. We do want to thank you for watching this ABC News Digital Report. I'm Paula Faris. Enjoy your Father's Day, everyone.